Good day everyone. So do you want to fly high up here with Chasca over Natlan? Well, that's going to be what we'll discuss in today's tutorial video. It is a lot simpler than you might think. So to start with, you want to get into a little flying bird right here, and effectively you need to go to a specific spot on the map, which is exactly where I'm pointing at, as you can see here on screen. This is the best place to do it, and then basically you enter the current and then you just hold the spacebar, and that means you're going to go up. So in order to fly high, you need to get high up. But here's the thing, ordinarily you would run out of stamina, but as you can see here on screen, my little phlogiston bar is like shining. It's going down, 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 and boom, it's going to be replenished. So this is one of those oversights on the devs where they forgot to do a bit of a proper range check on the item at the ground, which means we can ascend very high up in the game. So whilst you're doing this, you'll eventually, if you go up high enough, you can place a teleporter and get to an area which is above anything else that's currently in Tevat. And once you're above here in a cloud like region, well, this is where you're going to then start your flying. So basically, and what I assume, because I haven't played this far yet in terms of quests and stuff, this should be like a new quest area that'll be unlocked. You can place teleporter waypoints there, or a couple of, I think, even like these pyrocules or whatever you want to call it, that you can collect here. But basically this is a playable area, and being a playable area means you've got night soul transmission, you've got all the ordinary things, and that is really awesome. But what I would recommend is you start right here where you can see I'm with Chasca, and then we're now going to go in this direction, which is towards Natlan, and that's basically where the fun starts. You are incredibly high up in the air, and then you've got Auroron here that'll help you restore phlogiston with the night soul transmission. You've got the little special gadget that you can see here that I've got on screen, and the combination of these two means that, well, Auroron and Chasca will each restore phlogiston. You've got the gadget that's going to come off cooldown whilst you're flying with Chasca, so it's basically infinity flying, and you won't lose any height, which is a very big plus on top of that. And look at this picture, you can just take so many beautiful cinematic moments there with Chasca. As you can see in the background, my preferred way of doing this is to hover with Auroron, get the stamina back up, and then when needed then start flying here with Chasca, and then obviously you press the elemental skill to get the full night soul transmission. Right, so this is now the part where things do become tricky, because you're in an area where you've got lots of clouds and it's a special area. The night soul transmission technique works, but at some point you'll find that you can no longer switch between the characters, because the night soul transmission, I would assume, like the detection range basically doesn't work anymore once you go too far outside of the little circular crowd region. So do keep that in mind. I think the best way to then play it is to eat some food, which will reduce gliding and stamina cost, and then just keep on going until you are over Natlan. So you can see here right now the night soul transmission is inactive. We can't use it until we drop down a bit further below, but that's not gonna stop us from flying really far. And even then, once we just lose a bit of height, you'll see a bit later on, we'll get the night soul transmission back and you'll still be very high up. So as you can see, I prefer the 25% gliding stamina reduction. You can also have some stamina food, and this is where my little favorite gadget also comes into play. A lot of people thought this gadget was kind of useless, but as you can see, what's really powerful about it is not the ability to give you air, but the ability for you to recover stamina, so you can glide for a very long time. And the moment the night soul transmission is then active again, well, it's pretty much up there in the air. Right, so you can see here we are busy exiting the clouds, and we are quite high above Natlan. In fact, we are so high that you can actually see some of the rendering in the background like popping up in the game. I definitely think that the devs never really intended for you to really fly this high. So this is one of those convenient oversights. Again, another oversight, because they didn't properly test all of the mechanics and so on, or put like a restriction on flying. But hey, that just means more fun for us to enjoy the game and the clear skies. Here you can see I just made the night nighttime, daytime, because you don't really get much of a view during the day. Regardless, it does take quite a bit of a while to get to the heart of Natlan, and I think, yeah, you can see there in the background there is the cloud area, and above it there's the place. So it's kind of weird that they put the cloud there, but the actual area is above the cloud. I mean, that's just the devs for you. And here you can see we are super high up over Natlan. It looks very, very cinematic, and in just a moment you'll see me dropping down a bit, and once we drop down we'll be able to reactivate the night soul transmission. So at about a certain height, approximately about now, you can see there we've got night soul transmission, and hey, congratulations, you can fly infinitely, and you can even get to the People of the Springs, that special quest area. If you haven't activated it, you can get to that teleporter literally by flying over to it. So that's another bit of a bonus. The one other thing that I like doing is taking pictures here with Chasca. It really gives you the sense of a flying character, which is so freaking awesome. I mean, looking at this is just gorgeous. And there's the out of bounds volcano, which we'll do in a bit of a future video. I've already gone out of bounds there, but there's not really that much or anything interesting. Regardless, as you can see here, even if you burn through the majority of your night soul points, the moment you switch between Auroron and you just hover with him and then you go back to Chasca, you'll get your night soul transmission points back once again, effectively infinite flying, which is so cool. Alright, hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and a bit of the breathtaking sights from up here. Definitely a different way to enjoy the game. Alright everyone, let me know what you think down below, and thank you so much for watching. Cheers.